Autumn is a beautiful time in Wisconsin. The chill in the air and the changing colors of the leaves remind us that winter will soon be here. But when the beauty has faded and the leaves have fallen, homeowners are left with the chore of handling the leaves that accumulate on their lawns. Since Wisconsin recycling law prohibits sending yard waste to landfills, Wisconsin residents have several options for managing leaves. Some of the old ways of handling leaves cause air pollution or cost taxpayer dollars. Turn over a new leaf and consider managing your leaves a new way. Although some municipalities still allow leaf burning with a permit, burning is not recommended for the following reasons. Backyard burning creates air pollution. The smoke it creates is a health hazard to people with asthma and other allergies. Burning also creates a fire hazard. A fire must be tended and ashes spread or disposed of. Finally, it's a nuisance to neighbors in our urbanized areas. Burning also wastes resources. Leaves contain nutrients that can be recycled into the soil. So, if you decide not to burn or rake and bag leaves, what else can you do? How about mulching leaves in place? Whether you live in the city, the suburbs, or the country, you can mulch your leaves by mowing. It's as simple as riding or pushing your mower. There are a number of benefits to mulching leaves in place. First, mowing leaves reduces time spent raking and bagging. Second, studies at Michigan State University have shown that mulching leaves on site is beneficial to the health of your lawn, causing it to green up faster in the spring, providing a softer playing surface for physical activities, and leading to a richer soil. There are some points to remember when mulching leaves. If you don't have lots of leaves on your lawn, simply mow them along with the grass, leaving small pieces to filter down among the grass blades. Just like grass clippings, they will decay, although more slowly, and recycle their nutrients back into the soil. Either a standard blade or a mulching blade will work. Sharpening the mower blades and slow movement with the mower will help to grind the leaves finer. You may need to make up to 3 or 4 passes over the area to grind the leaves fine enough to fall into the turf, leaving grass blades exposed to the sunlight. In most cases, only 1 or 2 passes are needed. When mulching leaves, take care that the pulverized leaves do not cover the grass blades entirely. It's best if the leaves are mowed regularly, not allowing them to lie on the turf more than 3 or 4 days. Fall is a very important time for the turf to photosynthesize and store carbohydrates, particularly under trees where the turf receives limited sunlight during the summer. An exception to mulching would be leaves infected with apple scab. This fungal disease affects apples and ornamental crab apples. If you have an infected tree, rake and remove leaves as they fall in order to minimize the chance of your trees becoming infected during the next growing season. You can still mulch the rest of the leaves on your property by mowing. Finally, an optional addition of 1/2 pound of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet could be applied to increase decomposition of leaves mulched in place. Whether you live in the city, the suburbs, or the country, you can mulch your leaves by mowing and return valuable nutrients to your lawn. Now that you know why burning is not recommended and understand the positive aspects of mulching leaves on the lawn, let's see how homeowners in Milwaukee, Wauwatosa, New Berlin, and Brookfield have turned over a new leaf by mulching their leaves in place.
Well, previous to mulching, we primarily raked our leaves. What we would do is 3 or 4 times during the fall, push them all out to the curb for the city to sweep up with their big brooms. Raking usually took us between 1.5 hours and 2 hours typically, depending on how heavy the leaf fall was. Well, mulching with the mower only takes us about a half hour, the same amount that I used previously for cutting the grass. Occasionally it'll take a little longer if there's a real heavy leaf fall and I have to do an extra pass or 2. Occasionally we'll try to rake leaves out of the bushes or shrubs, but generally we leave them down during the winter as winter mulch. I believe the effort for mulching is very easy. In fact, I think I'm going to recommend it to most of my neighbors in the future because there's so many benefits that are derived from leaf mulching this way. A lot less leaves end up in the storm water and less plugged drains for the city to clean up. It's even cheaper for the city because the less leaves they have to collect, the less cost to us as taxpayers. So I plan to promote it around the neighborhood.
Previous to my mulching, I did collect some leaves in my lawnmower, regular lawnmower, and I used to put them in my compost bin, or the rest of the balance of the leaves I did rake into the street for the city to collect. This front yard runs 30 to 40 minutes approximately to rake and get them out to the street. The way my lot is configured here, I trap a lot of leaves in here, so I always have to take them around the outside. But it's a good half hour to an hour sometimes, especially if the wind is blowing. Oh, mulching, I can go through here in about half the time because I don't pick up anything. I don't have to rake usually, and I can walk away from it much less time. With a mulching blade in your lawnmower, it is much easier, I think, to cut your lawn, collect the leaves and so forth, because you just don't, to rake them out into the street, that's double labor. I definitely would continue to use it.
We started this about 2 years ago, this mulching. And the mulching is, it's faster, it's more efficient, and the lawn looks better because when you're raking, you miss so much. And this way here with the mulching of the lawnmower, you get to the whole lawn, and the end result is really very nice. I would say that I do it maybe 4 or 5 times in the course of the fall, and maybe a half an hour each time. So, you know, we're talking about 2.5 or 3 hours. Basically, all you're doing is sitting on the lawnmower and riding around your yard and you're chomping up the leaves. The other way, we're just raking the leaves and we're burning them. A lot of the neighbors were complaining about the smoke. Here in New Berlin, everyone around this subdivision has at least an acre of land. And I would say that as I drive around the neighborhood, that I see everyone is doing this. This is a standard tractor. The blades are just standard blades. And so what I'm saying is you don't have to go through a great expense in order to accomplish this. You may use any tractor that you have. We're real happy with the results.
Previous to mulching, what I would do is I would run them over with my lawnmower and rake them onto a tarp and take them to my compost pile, which is in the back of the yard. Oh, on average, to do my yard would take me about a weekend. It would take me, I'd have to do this about 3 or 4 times in the fall. With mulching, now it takes me about a weekend. What I do now is I'll mulch them up, and I don't necessarily have to rake them anymore. They'll actually go into the soil. Just back and forth, and just riding a lawnmower makes it a lot easier than trying to do it with a rake and pulling it with a tarp into the backyard. Oh, man, it's easy. 10 times easier, 100 times easier. I'm very satisfied with the look of my lawn. Yes, it looks very nice. This is the method I'm going to use from now on.
Many people are enjoying the benefits of mulching leaves in place. They avoid the problems and time required to rake and burn, get the benefits of reusing nutrients contained in the leaves that would otherwise go up in smoke, and save taxpayer dollars in communities that provide leaf collection. Why don't you turn over a new leaf and join them? For further information on mulching leaves in place and managing other yard debris, visit the Wisconsin Be Smart website at www.besmart.org or call their toll-free number 1-866-917-6278.